Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Life Burst Podcast, a podcast where we talk about the competitive side of Wixoss, except for this one, which we're going to talk about just Wixoss.
Yeah, I want to have fun, don't you?
Yeah, it's true. We wanted after the ceremony, and we've done a fair amount of interviews with the top players. We wanted to have one that where it can be like, all right, let's relax until the next ceremony.
Take a breather.
Yeah, in the same way that I am not playing No Limit, even though I understand that No Limit, Musica, and Card Jockey are now the best decks. I'm sorry, Madoka and Card Jockey are now the best decks. I'm just gonna have fun and play my Bang Dream Team because that's what I want to do. You're still gonna play Card Jockey and beat everyone up.
Honestly, no. I do want to break from Card Jockey for a little bit just because I've been trying to play it super seriously. I might decide to just switch back to Ancient Surprise or build like my own Dream Team deck, even if it's like not gonna work.
Umir?
No. I don't think I can make it work. Can you imagine me going into my locals with a center Umir lane switching deck?
Yeah, like, do it.
Gotta be
show him. Flex.
Show him. Oh, God.
Hey, we got something in the mail yesterday, didn't we, Tiffany?
Oh, my God, we did. I love it. It's so cool.
What did we get?
So, Lucky, as you know, we've mentioned them on a previous podcast. Lucky makes custom level 0 Larig cards. And the previous
Which were
one,
approved for the ceremony, so you were allowed to use them in the ceremony.
They are. You can use them. The last ones we got were Tamago.
Yeah, my girl Tamago.
Really, really cute. And this time we were sent MC Lion, which, oh my god, is so cute. I love it so much. You guys know I'm an MC Lion stan anyways. But the cool thing about these is we were actually sent two. We were sent one that's got MC Lion's like regular sort of look, but then Lucky sent us a second one, which is MC Lion in a swimsuit.
Yeah.
And I know what you're thinking, but like the thing is that it's like, it's not lewd.
No, it's great.
It's like
super tasteful.
It's really tasteful. It's really cute. Like it's the kind of thing that like I fully picture Lion actually wearing. And she looks like, she looks like her really sassy, like fun, upbeat self.
Yeah, she looks like she went to the beach and then someone challenged her to a rap battle.
And now she's doing it like beach ball tournament style.
Yeah.
It's cool. I really like it. I'm in love with these. I'm definitely going to be using them. I love the water effect on the swimsuit one. I can't get over it.
I agree. I think it's walking the line between tasteful and a little more than tasteful is difficult. And I think Lucky really nailed it on this one.
Yeah. Well, I also like that it feels like, you know how sometimes in like the other cards we've got like parallel art or something where like the colors might be different or like the facial expression might be different. The facial expression is different between her like regular outfit and her swimsuit too. So like it gives it that like extra sort of...
Yeah, it matches what they kind of do.
It matches what they kind of do in the game. So thank you, Lucky. I love these.
Of course, and again, as always, Lucky's link will be down below if you guys want to join their Patreon and get some of these cool arts themselves. I wonder what... I wonder what it'll be next week, but if you want an actual direct influence over what it could be next month, if you join their Patreon, you actually get the ability to pick. It's a community poll that they do every time.
Ooh, fun.
It's very cool.
Get some custom of your favorites.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe At could be next. Maybe Umir.
Don't tease me like that. All right, so what do we want to do today?
Well, since we're talking about some cool art, we actually had a fun topic for this one. I think yours is going to be more art influenced, and mine's going to be more play influenced. But we decided to pick our top 5 favorite cards in Wixoss that are currently available.
Yes, which is, how many is that? 447 or something?
475, I think is the
All right,
number.
so we're talking like 3 to 4 generations of Pokemon here. There's a lot of cards out there.
You could pick promos. I didn't actually pick any promos. There was no Halloween promos. If it was Halloween promos, across the board, 1 through 5, all Halloween promos.
Yeah, I didn't pick any promos either, just because I'm like, I kind of wanted to pick from like what is available, like more like widely available.
What you can get from, well, I guess promos you can get in packs too, but Generally
sometimes,
speaking, what
yeah.
you can get in packs.
Yeah. So this is like what you might just regularly be able to come across.
Yeah, and we had a hard time doing just 5.
Yes.
I
we did.
inevitably had 20 that I had to cut down. But we both came with one honorable mention, which we won't talk about a ton, but we'll bring up.
We'll just bring it up.
What's your... So, also, the dishonorable mention for both of us is at code art st stove.
Is that our dishonorable
That
mention?
should be our dishonorable mention.
I don't think we should have a dishonorable mention.
I love Stove Girl. I think she's funny, but nothing more than that.
I
just think that's funny.
I think the art is creative, and I think the name is hilarious.
Yeah. So she's not one of our favorites, but what's your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is... Sorry.
Yeah. What? What is it?
Slime Mage Azure Evil.
Oh, that's a good one.
I know. I just, I really, really like the art on this card. It gives me like mad Konosuba vibes, I just love everything about it. I love her facial expression. The little ghost popping up in the back, which I didn't even notice until I was like really looking at this card, is hilarious. I am a sucker for witch hats. Like, I just love everything about it. But the thing is that its enter ability is 2 blue, 1 anything, put other target signy on your field into their owner's trash, put target signy on your opponent's field on the bottom of its owner's deck.
Yeah, it's a good ability. I've actually been
Is it a good ability?
Yeah, I've actually been close to running it several times, but it's just because it's cost 3 enter, I've always been like, no.
It's very expensive.
It needs to be 2 or bust.
Well, the thing is that, like, you're going to be paying essentially 5
Yeah.
for it. It does have a life burst. Its life burst is draw 2 cards.
That's okay.
That's not too bad. It's a level 2 Signy at 500, so
Yeah.
that's my honorable mention.
I've been close to playing it and then never actually been like that needed of cards. So it'll get worse as life goes on because, more wider card pool.
Mm-hmm. What's yours?
Mine is, you're gonna be mad at me for saying this on the podcast. Mine's actually, this one's a promo. Sleepy At. And the reason why it's Sleepy At is because I know it's your favorite card, so anytime I see it, I think about you. I know.
Ew!
Really, let's get that PDA out of here.
Not on the podcast.
So no joke. Anytime I see like At being like a sleepy, her personality, I guess, is a sleepy girl. Anyways, like she falls asleep in mid sentence.
Do I do that?
No, I know. I just think anytime I see Sleepy At, like, because all of her artwork's generally sleepy. I think it's funny and cute, and then I think about you. So
I do like Sleeping At the most out of all of the sleeping Elrigs, and that's because I'm severely biased.
yeah, that's true. I will say at least
I think she's the cutest.
I will say at least Sleeping Tamago has the courtessy to take off her shoes.
Right.
Everyone
Can we
else,
talk about that
no.
for a second?
They sleep with their shoes on.
Anyways, all right.
Satin pillows, even.
I mean, the disrespect. Anyways, all right. So who wants to go first? Do you want to go first with your 5, or should I go first with my 5?
Sure, I'll go first.
Should we roll for it? Should we do it like Wixoss style?
Yeah, I think I'll just go first.
Okay.
Okay. My number 5 is, and I'll pop these on the screen as we do it.
Okay.
Robin Hood, Jade General Queen.
That's your number 5?
That's my number 5. Robin Hood's, again, as always, whenever anyone's like, you're running Robin Hood, it seemed to do well. And I go, yeah. And then they're like, oh, it's a good card. No, it's not. It does a job.
It's an extremely niche card.
Yeah, it does one job very well, which is as soon as you've got control over the game, you can start using Robin Hood to basically just ensure your opponent will never win. Now, that's not saying you're winning with Robin Hood. It's just a good way to also ensure that your opponent never wins. And so Robin Hood is good, but the artwork on Robin Hood is just, it's extraordinary. I'm handing it to Tiffany right now.
Yeah,
so,
it really is so beautiful.
I love the fact that there's a mask. It's got this like cool arm fabric. It's got a really great pose. It looks like there's more to this story than what it is.
Well, there's actually a Maid Marian card as well. Did you know that? Mm-mm. There's a Maid Marian card. It almost made it onto my list. It's really beautiful.
And the I've heard people say before that the artist who made Robin Hood is one of their favorite artists in Wixoss. It really blends the styles of Wixoss, like series One and Diva really well, because
Oh, I think so too. Yeah.
It like kind of bridges this gap between this neon bright saturation colors that exist in the Diva format, with like a lot of this more airy, like sort of picture book style of the original format.
Yeah, I do really love the background art of this, because it's so simple. It really helps to make the character pop. But like the lighting on the edge of the hood and like on her knee and stuff is like beautiful.
Yeah.
It feels very fairy tale. The outfit's incredible. The visor, the hair, everything.
What's amazing about this card is it feels distinctly feminine without actually being sexual, which is something that I genuinely like.
Yeah. Also, if you guys are curious, if you want to like find the illustrators or whatever, all the illustrator names are on the bottom right corner of all of these cards. So if you find particular art that you like, you should be able to look up other works that artist has done. Just giving them a shout out. We might not be able to read all of them because some of them are in, characters that we can't read. But if you guys are curious, that's where you can find that info.
Yeah.
All right. So for my... all of these make me laugh. That's why they're like my favorite ones.
So you just like ones that make you laugh.
No. They make me laugh because I genuinely like them.
Okay.
And that joy comes through with like giggles. So sorry. Okay. My number 5 is Simforce. Code Maze.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the meme card.
It's not a meme card.
I tried to meme No Limit with it, and it works until they figure out, oh, I can just remove it, and then I'm good.
Okay, just because it's a meme card to you doesn't mean it's a meme card to everybody else.
Uh-huh.
If you guys are running Simforce in your deck, please let me know. But the reason why Simforce is my number 5 favorite is because I find it very unique. This is the only Signy card that we have that has 2 characters on it instead of 1. This is the only one. And I think it's really cool. Not to mention, like, Simforce, just the name, it sounds like a Pokemon team. Like, Team Simforce. Sure. We all do music or something. I just think it's really cool. It's a white level 2 Signy with 8,000 power. Its text is, whenever a Signy on your opponent's field attacks, if there is no Signy in front of the attacking Signy, you may move this Signy into the Signy zone in front of the attacking Signy. Target and the life burst, it has a life burst, says target Signy on your opponent's field gains constant. This Signy cannot attack until end of turn, draw a card. So the life burst actually isn't that bad. And I do like the lane switching sort of ability in like this white card. I think that's pretty interesting. So if they can't remove it for whatever reason, like, I don't know, you pull this out like turn 2, they've got Lancelots, they can't remove it, whatever, and you just are like, whoop, nope, block that. I think it's cool. I have not played it, but I also do enjoy like the art on it. Like, they look like a team. I really like all the expressions. I just think it's fun. That's why I like it. That's why it's my number 5.
Yeah, there's also one of the people who we talked to at our local scene brought up an anime that apparently uses like the same kind of art style and the same kind of like music tech against them, and it's called Symphogear.
Symphogear?
Yeah. So we haven't looked at that yet, but if you guys like the art on that card, you might like an anime apparently called Symphogear.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's my number 5. What's your number 4?
Oh, my number 4 is Chandelier.
Chandelier,
yeah. So,
I mean, Chandelier is a pretty good card.
You're gonna see a lot of not level 1s on my list, which blew my mind because I was like, I like level, like I like streamlining, I like having low curves, I like having like things that hit the ground running, and I have very little level 1s on my list, which really was strange for me. But then I thought about it some more, and I was like, well, why isn't Fenrir or Arguin or any of these like other big splashy level 3s on here? Mm-hmm. And why did I like Chandelier? Well, one, I like Chandelier's art. I think it's fun.
Yeah, it is definitely Chandelier.
Yeah,
Like,
it looks like the Pokemon
it does look like a
Chandelure.
Pokemon. It does look. That's exactly it.
It does look like
That's why it
Chandelure.
looks so familiar.
I just think it's a cool art. Outside of that, I like the spells matters kind of theme. But the real reason, and the reason I brought up the level 1 stuff is, I like aggressive things, and Chandelier actually is very aggressive. You may think of it, oh, it's more of a wall, being that it hits that 13k threshold and it gets hard, it's sticky, it's hard to clear, and it's hard to attack into. But Chandelier wants to attack every turn and basically enter burn them.
Right.
And so if you're playing a more aggressive version of Uchu, which I think you probably should be, Chandelier is a very valid option for it. And it's something interesting that it's more used. It was more used in the U.S. just across the board.
Wait, for Uchu?
For just in general.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was more used as a card in the U.S. than it was in Japan, which I also think is an interesting thing. But generally speaking, that might be because as Americans, we end up being more aggressive in our card games. It's just kind of
Yeah,
how it
I think
turned out
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference in that.
And so I like it. Chandelier is a very powerful level 3 that also is like, no, I still attack. I'm attacking, but I'm creating a defensive window for you, but I'm doing it through attacking, which I like.
All right. Let's see. My number 4 is Hackett, Azure Angel. It looks like this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. Again, this is very much an art thing. I love the artwork on this card. She's a blue level 1. The text is, enter, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put any number of them at the bottom of your deck in any order, and the rest at the top of your deck in any order. It's not that bad of an ability. It doesn't cost anything. A little bit of deck fixing for blue. And I actually ran into somebody using these during the ceremony. I forget what deck it was for. But I did find it very interesting. However, I love the character design on this. And I honestly can't exactly pin down the reason why I like it, other than the fact that this reminds me of like some sort of character that I might see on like a JetX show.
Yeah. It does have a very JetX feel to it.
It has a very if you guys don't know what JetX is, it's like sort of a sub channel to a television channel that would show all these like very anime-esque kind of like TV shows. But the other thing is like I don't know what this character is advertising. If she's advertising shoes, I'm buying it. If she's advertising her jacket, I'm buying it. If she's advertising her headband, I'm buying it. Like I want whatever product this character is selling, I want it. Like, she looks that cool.
Also, I'm just, and this is a running theme for Wixoss in general, and it's actually something I weirdly like in the way that I like campy movies, is that I don't actually understand the typing of a lot of these, a lot of cards. Sometimes they're like, oh, this is definitely this is an angel, and you look at it and you go like, there's no angel wings. Or it goes like, this is a demon, and you go look at it and it's got rabbit ears. That's all it has is rabbit ears. And then it's like, no, this is a Terra Beast. And it's like, it's a bird and you have sky beasts. I don't understand. Like, and here's the thing though, coming from years and years and years of Magic the Gathering, having very strict art rules, a demon is a demon because it has bat wings and horns. An angel is an angel because it has fluffy angel wings. Now they're finally starting to break away from this type of thing, and they're exploring a little bit more. Goblins are red skinned and that's it. And they're dumb. Like, that's what they are. And the fact that Wixoss is just like, yeah, we can type this whatever we want it to be.
I do kind of like that.
It's kind of freeing. I also genuinely like that. Like, angels can be found in every single color on Wixoss.
That is nice.
And demons can be found on every single color in Wixoss. Which is cool. I mean, they might be more centralized in one color or another.
But you can find them like across multiple things.
Yeah,
which I do think that also like makes kind of sense. Because like there's different sides of each sort of like category of creature, or like person, whatever.
It's cool. Every time I see a fish and it's in white, I laugh at it a little bit, but it's cool. I'm glad to see a fish in white.
Also, do you wanna learn something fun about the card? I literally just looked this up because
What?
I recognized that the necklace on Haket, it looks very Egyptian inspired. So I
Yes.
literally just Googled this right now while we were talking, and apparently Haket is an ancient Egyptian frog-headed goddess who personified generation, birth, and fertility. Sometimes depicted with the body of a frog, and frog amulets were common in ancient Egypt to like show fertility and stuff. So that said,
But it's an angel.
but it's an angel. But that said, um, her headband is frog eyes.
Ah.
See?
I didn't understand that until now.
I know.
Our number 3 is going to be, actually for me, it's Random Drain.
Oh, I actually almost picked that one.
I love Random Drain. And the reason why I love Random Drain is it kind of is reminiscent of one of the reasons why I like Wixoss art in general, which is that they really can be silly, and I like that. I like that they lean into the chibi. I like that they make Tamago look like a little furball monster in this. And it also has an incredible effect.
Yep.
It's one of those ones where even in the Japanese meta today, you're still seeing it as a 4 of in a lot of decks. In off teams, because it's still powerful enough off team. And it shows the flexibility of design there as well.
Yeah.
Not only is the ability strong itself, making your opponent discard a card and you draw a card, aka you are basically resource draining them. The fact that it hits at random for your team is fantastic. Even if it's not at random, you're still doing a very powerful effect. And then its life burst effect of being able to down target Signy, freeze it, and then the opponent has to discard a card is fantastic. And arguably, I would rather down target Signy and freeze it, and then instead of drawing a card, I would rather the opponent discard a card. If I can wear out my opponent's resources like that, I love it.
Yeah. It sounds like that also is like a really good card for like interrupting flow. If you've listened to Bill and ours like flow theory video.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
All right.
And that's my main reasoning for it. What you said you were almost going to pick it. Why?
Look at her face.
I know, it's ridiculous,
And the
right?
fact that like the original translation for that is random bad, and you just have this little creature being like, yeah, like ruining your day. But yeah, going off of what you kind of said earlier, I really like that there's a lot of flexibility in the Wecross art, and they leave a lot of room for just having fun with it, and like sometimes not taking it as seriously as other card games might. It's fun.
It's true. I mean, the symbols have like sharky mouth smiles. That's stupid. I love it.
It's so fun. That's a good one. All right. Let me just pull mine up. All right. Would you like to know what my number 3 is, or do you not care?
No, I seem to care quite a bit about.
Oh,
Your
okay.
number
You
3
didn't
is.
ask.
What is your number 3?
Oh, thank
Tiffany?
you. My number 3 is Polygenesis.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good one. I also had that on my list of like the 20 cards that I liked.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
All right. It is a green spell. It costs 1 green. And it says, add target Signy from your enter zone to your hand. If there are 3 Ancient Surprise Lyrigs on your field, instead, add target Signy from your enter zone to your hand. Life Burst is vanish target up Signy on your opponent's field, which is really interesting because usually that's like a red Life Burst thing. So it's cool to see it in green. But the reason that I really like this one, aside from the fact I legitimately think it's a good spell, I wish I could play it more. I might put it in like a bang deck or like a future updated Ot deck or something. I really like the art on this one too. And the reason why is because I find it very unique compared to all of the other, not only like spell cards, but all of the other like Signy cards and stuff like that. Because a lot of the other spell cards are so like, yeah, I'm doing something, big explosion action, whatever. And then this one, it's so like self-reflective. Not to mention it kind of like hits on that like Ancient Surprise kind of like lore, where Ancient Surprise are like, there's really no spoilers in this, I don't think, but like Ot's kind of a more like digital Lyrig, like they focus very heavily on that. You can see those themes in a lot of their pieces, like Future Code and stuff like that, they have this like kind of heavier digital avatar feel to them. And polygenesis goes into that, and I think it's incredibly obvious when you look at like the Matrix, like binary code in the background and a little bit of digitization on like her edges and stuff. But
Do you want me to read the flavor text?
sure.
At one point, it wakes up, going to the future, knowing the ego, knowing new things.
Dun, dun, dun.
By the way, we will dive into this when we put out our Life Burst Extra on the
lore of
Eldritch
Ancient
lore
Supremacy.
of that team, but their flavor text in the Japanese things are always ominous as hell.
They're really intense. We'll go through a couple of those in that video. But yeah, no, I just really like this card. I wish I could play it more often, and I plan on playing it more often in the future. Because like I said earlier, I kind of want to like have fun with Wixoss and just like make whatever deck I want and take it to locals and not win anything, but at least, just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my third one.
I picked I kind of surprised again on myself on this list because there wasn't a lot of aggression stuff in the list, and I do genuinely like aggressive cards. My number 2 is Bang de Capo. And the reason why is, first off, very good ability. Still used if you're using a Nova or a team Uchu team. Bang de Capo is still used. There's another Bang that comes out in set 3, and it gives Lancer, which I think is very needed in that team. But still, the ability to just pay, it's so cheap to just go, I pay 3 and I stop 2 of your damages. That is, it's and the fact that it can stop double crush damage too, crazy. It's the cheapest that you can get that effect for. If you are playing a defensive deck, you should be thinking about Bang de Capo. But that's not the only reason I play it. I love the artwork for that. Yeah, absolutely. So it is not a hidden fact that my favorite holiday by a huge margin is Halloween. And I love creepy things. And I also love creepy cute. And that's one of the things that I was like sad about in Magic, is because there's like no creepy cute art in Magic. It's just horror or an angel. Like that's what it goes, right? And like, yeah. And so I like the horror thing on it, but I also like creepy cute. I like the candy in the Halloween aspect, and so Bang de Capo has just the right amount of all of it for me. It is first off, the character design for Bang is awesome. It's just this like Frankenstein monster with a giant screw in its head. Yeah. Playing the, like, I think it's a what is it? A bass? No, it's a keytar.
It's a keytar.
Right? Yeah. Playing a keytar cleaver.
Yes.
It's so ridiculous. And I love it.
It is really over the top, but it's perfect for that team.
Right. If she were to make a surprise appearance in a Zombieland Saga, she'd fit right in.
I know.
Right?
What if that's like her alternate identity?
Oh yeah, she's actually the legendary
the legendary whatever. Yeah. I don't remember
the name. Anyways, so I love it, and the art on Bang de Capo is just reeks of cool. Like it's not just creepy cute, but it's also just reeks of like, this is a cool card, right? Yeah. This is one of those cards that I would have in my, like, when I was a kid, and like people like would be like, well, Wixoss isn't a boys game. I'd be like, look at this card. This is so cool, right? I maybe wouldn't show some of the other stuff, but I'm glad we're at a point in our life where I can unironically enjoy Wixoss art.
Yeah. It looks like, I like that it looks like it does what it says it does. Like, you throw that down, it still looks impressive.
Yeah. It's so cool.
Like, it's such a cool, like, blast sort of, like, effect around it.
Oh, yeah. And the foiling is really good when you look at the foil version.
Yeah.
But the other thing to note is, like, I mean, even the pose, right? Like, how she's, like, you can tell she's really jamming, and she's got her head slightly down and slightly up in a kind of a creepy pose.
Yeah, but like what I like her the most, I totally agree with that. What I like the most about it is I love her expression.
Yeah.
Because it's so Bang. Like with just like the one eye look up. She looks like she's jamming on a bass guitar, but it's like a keytar. I don't know. It drips.
It drips.
It's a card that drips.
It literally drips acid.
It drips.
No, it's so that's the reason why that one's my number 2. It's pretty close to being my favorite. There was one thing that pushed it out of the spotlight for me, but Bang Da Capo pretty much has everything I'm looking for in a card art. And I could make a deck that's just themed with nothing but that stuff. I would love it.
Is that why you're gonna center Bang?
But that's the cool thing is because Uchu exists, I can kind of get away with it.
Yeah.
Like, I love making Halloween decks in Magic. I have a Halloween cube that I keep up to date. And like, it's just so hard to be like, well, it's also fighting my competitive urge. Uchu doesn't fight that. It can be competitive, and it's a team of Halloween girls. I love it.
Turns out Uchu is your dream team.
I know, it really is.
That's really cute. All right. So next up is...
Oh, what's your number 2? I want to know. This time I do really want to know.
Okay. You know what? Just for you.
Thank you.
I'll tell you. All right. My number 2 favorite card in Wixoss is Rama, Crimson Angel.
I can barely remember. Is that the one that pumps
It
something?
looks like this. I'll
Yeah.
read it to you.
It pumps something.
It's a level 2 red Signy. And it says, enter, all Signy on your field get plus 3,000 power until end of turn. Life Burst, you may pay 1 red, 1 anything. If you do, vanish target Signy on your opponent's field with 12,000 or less.
You keep picking angels.
I do keep picking angels. Maybe I need to run a tribal deck. We'll talk about that more in a later podcast. But the reason why I like this one is, first of all, I like anything that pumps Signy. That's just a mechanic that I really vibe with. Life Burst isn't bad. I don't like Life Burst that you have to pay for, but this
12,000 is a lot though.
12,000 or less. That's pretty much everything except for something like Chandelier. So not bad. Might be worth paying for at the time. But the other reason why I really, really like this Signy is, again, the outfit is freaking incredible. I mean, look at her. Look at this. First of all, the whole jacket that's like zipped down so you can like see her like plug suit with the trim around the plug suit with like the little yellow details here and there and like the glows and everything, and just it really does it for me. Like, I just love this like puffy jacket. The silhouette's great, not to mention she looks cool. Like, she looks like her pose is really interesting. It's very like dynamic. And I love the way that her hair is painted. I just love that sort of like look where everything looks really, like, it looks really fluffy, but also like very shiny and thick. And like the background's cool too. She looks like she's flying through like the grid or something from Tron. I just love everything about this card. I just wish it was more.
Punch my microphone.
Sorry about that. I just wish I could play it more, honestly. Like, I wish it was something that would be like viable or optimal or like whatever.
I think you could probably get away with playing it in an angel deck. Just because an angel deck has a much more limited card pool and probably wants to use red after set 3 comes out. I think set 3 is going to have a angel in it that's very, very good. I think arguably better than our other angels. But yeah, I agree with you on the art. Like
look at it.
You're right. A lot of the art that we're picking are like, this looks like there's more to this story here than what is just. And then you find out it's just a rando card that shows up maybe once in the anime, and that's it. Like, that's as much as it does, which is always surprising. You're always like, wait, what? There's not. Like, that's the thing with Robin Hood, right? I'm like, there's not more legacy to this. Like in Magic terms, right? That would be a legendary creature, but it's just a good art.
Also, again, some more like fun tidbits on this. The name Rama is the same as one of the most widely worshipped Hindu deities and the embodiment of chivalry and virtue, who also has a bow and arrow in a lot of the iconography. And there's also sort of like that allusion to the Hindu headdress on the side of the art on the card for Rama. She has like this little gold peak. Let me know what the name of that is in the comment section down below if you know what the exact name for that type of headdress is. But so there's like a lot of cool like little things in arts like that as well. Now I'm beginning to wonder if all of the angel art
Like god
is
or
some sort of
demigods.
like is based off of some sort of like religious
Yeah,
god.
could be.
I'm gonna look it up.
All right, I think you should.
Everything. I'm gonna make an angel travel deck that's just the Pantheon.
Yeah, just call it the Pantheon instead of Angel
Calling
Travel.
it the Pantheon.
It's actually kind of cool.
I show up to the ceremony with Zeus.
It's genuinely pretty cool, though.
So that's my number 2.
So here's my number 1, and it might be, I mean, unless you don't want it. You've never asked me for one.
I have literally asked you every single time
Except for
what your
this
number
time.
1 is.
Except for this time.
Well, I just thought you'd tell me.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you right now, regardless of your feelings.
Do it.
Because it's a hot take, I think.
What is going on this day? All right, go for it.
It's okay, I think this one's going to be a little bit of a hot take.
Okay.
Because my number 1, as someone who's an art stan, you will either really like this or you'll really despise it. But as a guy who focuses a little bit more on the game aspect of it, right? Mm-hmm. My number 1 is Servant Sharp.
Which art of Servant Sharp?
All of them. I don't care. Because Servant Sharp, we said top cards. And Servant Sharp...
No, that's cheating.
No,
you
'cause
can't just pick 6 in one.
You can take all 4 arts of Servant Sharps, any art that you want, throw them in there. And as long as you have 4 of them, you're still doing the 4 of rule. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So, look, I think Servant Sharp, aside from the art, right, is a glorious card. And the reason why is because I think it shows the entirety of this game design distilled in a card. I think the fact that it is so flexible, so strong, and so unassuming is a super success, right? Not only does this card do a workhorse in literally every zone that it's in. That when you hit a Servant Sharp as a life burst, you're like, oh, I can get anything back? Cool. I'm either going to be getting a game-winning play or I'll get back another Servant Sharp in my trash so that way I can defend myself longer. It has abilities in the hand. You can discard it to stop it, right? So we talked about the life burst, a trash, and the hand. It does work as a Signy zone. If you're like, crap, I need to block this zone. I've got nothing to do. It's a level 1, so it's easy to put out there. And then when it's in your enter zone, it's got multi-enter.
So you could use it.
So you can use it for any color. It's literally, there's no scenario that Servant Sharp is bad. And
you know what? Those are all completely valid points. I don't even think that's a hot take.
No, from a gameplay perspective, it's just fantastic. And that's one of the reasons. The only thing that I can think of that's negative about Servant Sharp is you start out building a 36 card deck because you are starting with 4 Servant Sharp every time.
I mean, you could choose not to run any guards, although I'd say that that's ballsy beyond all reason.
Yeah, there are decks in All-Star format that run 0 guards. And you got to remember the All-Star format, you can run more than 4 guards. Like there's more guards than just Servant Sharp.
Right.
So you could run many guards. And in fact, in the All-Star format, a lot of the time people run guards so they can run 5 color decks because of the multicolor.
Oh.
So that's one of the many reasons why it's very popular there, but there's also some that just don't run it at all and have a different form of defense. So maybe we'll get to a world where you don't need to use the servant sharps, but also the fact that there's only 1 servant right now in Wixoss. We're at what, 8? We're at set 8 in Japan, and there's only 1. Means that it's special too. And
I mean, it would be kind of nice if we got some like servant flats since we have a servant sharp.
yeah, I hear you on that. Yeah.
It might be cool.
But I also like that it's and we're seeing this right now at the April ceremony. Everyone wants servant promos. And
I do want those servant
because
promos.
they're good in any deck. You can put them literally in any deck, and they'll be your servant promo. They're widely available. And not only that, we get more and more and more arts. So you're going to get to an area where you're going to see the opponent's servant sharps, and they're going to be a different art than what you're running, and that's their own self-expression popping out into the deck. Because there's so many different servant sharp arts, they pick this one's my favorite. Right now, my favorite servant sharp art. I have one promo that's the one with what is it called? The pen
Yeah, the Wacom pen.
The Wacom pen.
The digital tablet pen.
Yeah, I have one because that was literally the first promo pack I've ever opened when I finally got my cards in and I actually won.
That was one of the first packs that you opened.
It was the first one that I ever won. Like I ever won an event with because I finally had good cards and could actually put a good deck together. Mm-hmm. And so it means a lot to me. But outside of that, I have the one with the hat. That are I think they're I'm being bad here. I think they're a VTuber and I don't know which ones they are, but they're the ones with the black hat. And I had
with the purple effects.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite arts for that
I think
too.
It's super cool. It works with my goth girls that I like playing with, and it also has it's also got a dumb story for it too for me because I ordered them in 3 different stores. And they kept giving me the wrong servant. I kept being like, I clearly put in the notes, or I clearly
specifically
put it here.
said
Specifically this one with the hat that has this art and linked it. Like, I need these ones. I finally got them.
Can I tell you a confession?
Yes.
I almost had Guard in my top 5 as well.
Okay.
Aside from all of the reasons that we just said, like it's a staple, it's good, you always want them in your deck, blah blah blah. My favorite art, aside from like probably the promos that are coming out and the purple effect servant, is the original one that just like is the original art for
the one that has the hashtag, like the digital hashtag.
The giant digital hashtag, yeah. And the reason why I mentioned this earlier is because I really like cards that look like they're doing what they say they do.
Yeah.
Like when I say guard for that one, like it looks like it's guarding because it's going whoosh.
Right.
Like
what's funny too is when you talk about jargon here, guard is a jargon. When we say guard and we just put it down in the trash, we're not saying I'm discarding servant sharp to guard against this.
Or I am guarding. We're just saying guard.
Yeah, you're just it's and that's a sign of an incredible effect that people are just being like, no, guard.
Yeah.
And everyone knows what it means.
All right. I mean, that's a pretty solid number 1 slot. I don't think many people will argue with you in the comments below.
Yeah. It can even be an attacker. That was what I like defended myself with it. I was like, it's a level 1, and I was like sad that I didn't have a lot of level 1 aggro cards in there. And I was like, wait, this is the most aggro card of the level 1s. I can't tell you how much Life Crush I've done with a guard in an open lane.
That is true. Also, it feels bad, man. It feels bad when you get hit in the face with the servant. Yeah. It's just like,
yeah, you're just like, how you thought we were gonna have a fun game. No, I'm so confident that I'm putting this card down to attack you.
That is what that feels like.
I don't need to defend against you. You need to defend against me.
Cause so threatening. Yeah. Long live Servant Sharp forever and ever.
What's your number 1?
Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
All right, my number 1. You'll never guess what it is. Actually, can you guess?
Ooh, we should.
I want you to guess. I want you to guess what my number 1 is.
Is it Tree Froggy?
It's not, but that was almost on my list. I think Tree Froggy's super cute.
Please say he.
It's not he. It's not Helium.
I got you to say he at least.
Well, because at this point, anybody that listens to our podcast regularly now knows what that card is. For the dumbest reason.
No. Good Dig? Good Dig is my guess. Good Dig or Haniel? Mm-mm. Okay, I'm out of guesses.
All right. My number 1 favorite card, for a variety of reasons, is Umar Clear.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
Okay. So, here's the thing. Umar Clear, it's a level 2 assist Umar. It's got main phase and attack phase. It costs 0 to grow. And it's got the enter ability of discard your hand and draw cards equal to the number of cards you discarded plus 1. Your opponent discards their hand and draws cards equal to the number of cards they discarded minus 1. It also has a second enter ability, which you can pay 1 anything for, which is freeze target Larig on your opponent's field. Incredible.
Yeah, does a lot.
Honestly, does a lot. Modular. Cheap to grow mid-game. And I didn't even realize this, but it says freeze target Larig on your opponent's field. It doesn't have to be the center. So if you think somebody's running like a Phoenix or something, you could just down their assist.
That would be such
what if you downed Bang and then Bang couldn't do like a da capo or something. I don't think that's how that works.
No,
but
no,
you know
that's
what I
not
mean?
how it works. But you could stop harmony with it.
Yeah, you could stop harmonies with that.
That is something, that's a niche situation I've never actually thought about. But
Right?
you're not wrong. Like, you could do that and be like, if you were worried, like, I don't know, if you somehow knew they
It would
had a
stop
Flauris
like
in their
abilities.
hand, right?
Yeah.
If you had a Flauris, you knew the opponent had a Flauris in hand, and you knew that that was their way to mill you out, and you could just be like, nope. Yeah, you could technically do that. I think it probably is still better to do it on the... Like, okay. Niche scenario. Your opponent knows what's up. They do not attack with their Musica on turn 2, so that way they can salvage the future on turn 3. But you know the cards in your deck that they would have to be able to mill. So you go ahead and freeze one of their... You still got to use it turn 2, so that way you can get its effect off. And you freeze one of their assists that are... well, hold on. It would freeze up, so no, never mind.
I mean, it would freeze up, but like the thing is, I just think it's interesting that it doesn't specify center.
You're right.
Like you could freeze any
right.
Lurig. Anyways, so that's why I do think it's a lot more playable than people give it credit for. I think that when the new sets came out, it was very easily forgotten. And I think that a lot of people also preferred Umer down over Umer clear at the time until we kind of started playing it in our locals and they were like, oh wait, maybe this is kind of a good assist. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, it was so Umir down has a very specific effect, and I think it was good when Towel Mono Red was running really rampant. However, every time we kept playing it against anything that wasn't Towel Red, right? We'd end up, they would just universally be like, oh, this hand that I drew is crappy. And it's just enough times that you do that before you realize, no, this is actually really good disruption.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not to mention if you have a crap hand, you can just replace it. Maybe you'll
And
get
you
a guard.
control the crap hand,
Yeah.
right? Like you can go, play this Signy, Umir clear, draw 3 new cards. Oh yeah, no, this is the other.
This is the other one that I wanted,
yeah.
exactly. So there's all that. This was also the first shiny Lurig I've opened. So it has a very special place for me in that it was, like you said with your servant, it was one of my first like shiny cards. And if you've ever seen like the shiny version of this, it's beautiful. Like it like works with the card. Going off of that, the art in this is awesome. Like her freaking outfit. I know I keep talking about the outfits, but like, come on. Like the fits in this game are amazing.
You're saying we didn't sign up for Wixoss for Cute Girl Battle?
Oh no, we totally did that. I mean, we fell for the TV show, hook, line, and sinker. The marketing got us real bad. So like, listen, like look at this. She's got like gigantic belts that then go into ruffles. With like a Sailor Scout style like bow on like bow style brooch that goes into this fabulous scarf.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got this like plug suit thing going on her torso, like her bodice. And her sword looks like a key. That's a sword, by the way. It's not a staff. Look at how she's holding that.
Oh, I guess it is a sword.
It looks so incredible. Like that looks like that.
Wait, she has a keyblade? Kingdom Hearts Keyblade?
It actually ties into their lore, and technically because she's an assist, no, she doesn't have the key.
Okay. All right. I'm in for the future episode that we keep prepping but never getting around to doing because we keep doing... Look,
we were doing other stuff. We had like
we were
the
gonna
ceremony
do it.
going on, and
we have it in the tank, but then the ceremony happened.
yeah. So like, look at it. It's just one of those things that like it looks and feels like a powerful card, and the art like backs up the text. So for me, this is like the complete package.
Yeah.
You know, and you can run this in any deck that you're running an Umer assist in. So
yeah, and Umer level 1 is good. It draws 2 cards, and that's the baseline of what is a good blue.
Yeah, and there's other like level 1 assists. We just prefer Umer draw. So that's my complete list. Umer clear is my favorite card.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good one. I like running it even.
Yeah. So that's it.
Plus, she's got cute ram horns.
She does have cute ram horns, and then she's got cute bunny ears, and I'm just like, what is going on? I don't even care. You cute little jackalope, get over here.
I guess it is like a jackalope now.
Kind of is like,
oh, maybe that's what she is now. She's a jackalope.
Are they all mythical
Yeah, I think they are all mythical creatures. Yes.
Is that why? This is why it's taking so long to like write out that video.
Keep finding out new things.
We keep finding out new things.
Do
about
they
this
play
particular
jazz
team.
or ska?
Stop it! No spoilers. All right. Anyways, this just became a giant commercial for that one video we've been trying to make. Any final thoughts on our list?
I like our list, but what I want to know is what's your list down in the comments below.
Yeah, let us know your top 5. Leave us your honorable mentions or dishonorable mentions. If there's a card out there that you really don't like, let us know. Although I would request politely that you try and keep it positive, keep it fair, because you know somebody spent a lot of time making some of the art for these cards, so please be respectful. But yeah, with that said, thank you so much for listening to us list off our top 5 favorite cards and just having like a good time with us, nothing too serious. Thank you so much for listening. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, Andrew.
Yeah?
What should they always do?
You should probably flip a life burst.
Yeah, probably.
Try to flip a life burst.
Try your best. We'll see you guys next
See you
time.
guys.